Hi, this is Mike Caruso. We're on Real Talk with Sterling Real Estate Group. I'm here with,
Sarah Itterman, and we're here today talking about our new construction development, Aspen Hills.
we're going to get in to all of it. We just wanted to hop on here and talk a little bit more about the community, how it's turning heads, what's involved, a little bit about the construction, because we've been spending a lot of time there recently and there's a lot of great new development.
Yeah, it's exciting. We have 15 Killington, which is pretty much done. We're going to be
Yeah.
hosting a couple open houses this weekend and a broker's open on Tuesday. So it's really, really great.
Yeah. And we have currently 4 home sites left that are vacant and ready for a new build. So there's a lot of excitement to come. So what was your first impression of the community?
How big it was.
Yeah.
Since, when you go in, there's already so many homes. And even though right now phase one just has less than 10 home sites right now, the fact that we're going to be bringing in over 80 additional home sites in the next couple of years is really just incredible. I can't believe that we're actually going to be able to do this and, just build up Johnstown and to bring all this affordable housing to such an amazing community. That's what makes me excited the most about it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's filled with opportunity. And one of my first impressions was you turn in, you see this beautiful paved road, and you look around and you see really every home is unique to its buyer, to its new homeowner. From your window grids, from your siding color. One of the houses looks beautiful in a powder blue. And that's really one of the parts of the process when building at Aspen Hills. The buyer will have the freedom to go ahead and really custom design their house. They actually get a personalized design meeting, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think makes it different?
I think one of the aspects that I really love about our new construction communities, just with Bill Lake in general, is the quality and how well everyone works together. Bill Lake isn't a builder that is just going to throw things together, cutting corners, cutting costs. Everybody is able to, build their home, customize it, like you said, to how they want it, but also know that quality assurance is going to be there too, just with even like our Fabu wood, soft close, quartz or granite countertops, just all the amazing quality you're getting, which is so unique versus like, when you think of modular, and I'll let you get into that more in a minute.
Yeah.
Just, a lot of people can think that maybe it's not that great or that it's cheap. But that's what makes us different, and that's what makes it incredible just for even a lot of our first-time home buyers who I'm going to have a mortgage for 30 years, and I want my home to have amazing endurance and quality.
Right. I completely agree. And I think the fact that they're built off-site I would say ballpark about 15 miles away. So that in itself, it's close, local business as well. And the biggest thing, especially in construction, this is off-site stick-built and a climate-controlled production facility under a roof. All the lumber is that's being stored in the factory. So I think that's a big benefit, when you look at most new construction communities and how they're built. I wanted to get in a little bit about modular and how it's really misunderstood in today's. It really came a long way over the past 20 years. And there's really one difference. Modular is built to local, municipal, regional, and state building codes. They're built pretty much the same way as they would be on an on-site stick build. And from Bill Lake Homes, they're building it very comparable to an on-site stick build. So they call it over there off-site stick built. Now, where things kind of get misunderstood is with the mobile manufactured, which is built to federal building code. So you are looking at different construction. Typically, your exterior walls are going to be 2x4 and a mobile manufactured. When you are building to regional, local, and state building code, you have to look at things like 2x6 exterior walls. So there's a pretty big difference in the construction, but also offsite stick modular. They're going to be put on foundations, making it real property permanently. Most often times, mobile manufactured, they can be removed from where they're placed. So there still seems to be a stigma. It's a common misconception, but you roll into a community like Aspen Hills or even go out to Bill Lake Homes factory and you really can't even tell the difference.
You don't even know. When you walk into the home, it feels like, it's been sitting there from day one. You would never guess that it was built in a factory, delivered, sat on the foundation, and, it feels like a real normal construction home, which it is in a sense. It's just done a little bit differently. And so it's really cool.
Absolutely. If you brought someone in there that isn't really familiar with construction and they saw the structures, again, I think probably 9.5 times out of 10, they would say, wow, this was a modular,
Right. And with the modular, like any typical
Yeah.
modular or mobile home, you're not getting 8 foot or 9 foot basements.
Right.
And that's what usually when I'm giving tours to people or just showing them,
Yeah.
whether it's Aspen Hills or any of our other new construction communities like Toad Hollow,
Yeah.
that I always say for last because it's my favorite part. I love, having them go downstairs and just see all this incredible space. You literally have the same amount of square footage in the basement as you do upstairs,
Yeah.
which people have that amazing option to finish, use for storage, like so many great flex space ideas,
Yeah.
and that you're never going to get in a typical, modular or mobile home.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's even with the construction in Aspen Hills, when you are designing your home, you can opt to look at adding dormers, shed,
Yep.
or a doghouse, in which those parts of the construction are prefabricated. But you can look at having a porch that Bill Lake Homes will end up prefabbing as well. And it's the opportunity there is customization, but also you can look at really getting what you want in terms of aesthetic, dressing up the house a little bit, giving it a little bit personality, right?
Exactly. And I think one of the unique things that we're able to also give people, which a lot of builders can't, yes, you can go visit a model home, maybe in a new construction site or whatever, which is awesome, but we could actually set up a time for you to come to the factory and you could actually watch from the very first step where the 2x4s are being put down. And it just, you kind of progress as you walk through the factory at each stage of the process and how it goes literally from nothing to pretty much being almost all done before it leaves. So you get to learn so much. And not only is it just like the framing and the flooring and like all that, a lot of the electrical, the plumbing, so many things are already done before it gets on site. And just to be able to kind of watch each and see each phase of it is so cool. And it's really helped people, I think, get excited about their homes where they're actually able to kind of watch and see, oh, this is, if we're talking about, oh yeah, it's at this stage today, they could then picture in their heads, oh yep, I was there, I could see it in my head of like
How many more weeks do we have?
Exactly. So that's a great segue too then. So what makes us unique too is typically a lot quicker builds than a regular average construction home.
Yeah. Going back to, what makes this opportunity a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the construction timeline is generally a lot faster than your typical on-site stick build. It in the factory, at the point of production, typically any of the floor plans that we're advertising they're going to be produced 85% complete in 6 to 8 weeks. And really, it's once they get to the site, they get set onto the foundation, they get tied in by the set crew. The roof gets installed. The builder's going to have his site plumber, electrician, HVAC specialist set everything up in the next couple of weeks, and then it's really just interior and exterior finish work. So again, when you look at people who are looking to get, or buyers are looking to get into housing relatively quickly, new housing, this is something that makes us different. We provide that opportunity, that flexibility, which I think a lot of buyers look for.
Yeah, especially in this day and age, timelines are so different.
Yeah.
And, we can be talking to someone that needs to be in a new home in 4 or 5 months, or maybe someone who, is like, hey, I'm going to be moving to the area in a year, and we can accommodate whichever time frame works better for them, which is really, again, very unique to us and really great that we're able to offer all of these different solutions, right? We want to provide people with what fits best for them. It's already stressful enough with thinking about buying a home. So we want to, especially if it's new construction, all those decisions, that's what makes us great is you get your own personal design team meeting.
Yeah.
You get to sit down with one of our experts and just kind of plan how you want your home to be. And we provide all of this great support every step of the way from day one all the way up until we get you into the new home. So I think that helps people a lot when they're thinking about everything that's involved in.
A very, very forward path for new construction, I think. Who is this community perfect for, though? And I've been thinking about this. I'll let you go first, and then I'll kind of give my input.
Wow. No, that's a great question. I see it as being a very excellent community for young families, first time home buyers,
Absolutely.
younger couples. Our home plans are so diverse. It's even for people who want a new construction home that are trying to downsize too. So
Yeah.
it's really, Aspen Hills is such a unique community because we're not just building 80 spec homes, all the same
Sure.
size, all
Yeah.
the same look. Each one, like we've been talking about, is going to be so unique, whether to how big they are, the
Absolutely.
designs. And so I think it really just appeals to pretty much almost everyone and anyone, but really how affordable they are,
Right.
right? We're not building $1 million homes in Johnstown. We are building very competitive price point homes, which reaches so many more people. And it
Right.
helps that home ownership dream, whether you're a first time homeowner, maybe you've done it a few times and you're moving to the area, whatever it may be. We want you to be able to come in and know that you're making a great investment, that it's
Absolutely.
affordable, and the quality isn't going to change because of that.
That's a great point. I think that for buyers that are really looking for everything that's going to be right there,
Yeah,
especially for what's under the dirt, I think this is again a perfect opportunity for someone who's looking for municipal water and sewer,
true.
electric,
Yep.
natural gas. These are all things that someone who's looking into new construction really wants to see. It's all right there. And I also think too, there is a convenience factor that's involved here in this location. You're very
Right.
close to the Adirondacks.
Yep.
Let's say you have family or friend or maybe a secondary dwelling up that way,
Yep.
or just want to go for the weekend. You're close to the highway that takes you there, but also you're just outside of the heart of Johnstown, which there's so
Right.
much to offer.
Johnstown is booming right now.
Johnstown's
It's
really on the
really,
come up. Yeah,
yeah, so it's really incredible. You're close to so many large box stores, even
sure.
grocery stores, but you're going to feel like you're in the country, which is great. So you're close
Yeah.
to the convenience, but far enough where you're not in the middle of the downtown.
And
Definitely a win-win.
not to mention, you're less than an hour from Saratoga, about 40 minutes from Schenectady. Let's call it under an hour from Albany. A stone throws away from Amsterdam too, about 20 minutes. So
Very
again,
strategic.
geographically, you're kind of right in that area where you still have access to those locations.
No, it's very exciting. Definitely a lot of great stuff going over there.
Absolutely. So we've been out there a couple times, both of us with potential buyers and their agents, just showing them the community. What are some reactions that you tend to get, when we have them do a walkthrough at Aspen Hills?
I think people love the kitchen and they love the island, the countertops, the cabinets. A lot of people spend most of their time in the kitchen. And so
Yeah,
they just love the layout. A lot of the floor plans are very open concepts. You have your dining space, you have your
sure.
living room space. You can be interacting while still making dinner or having people over, but it's just, I love the quality that they're
Sure.
seeing there and just the wow factor of the basement
Yeah,
and just how exciting it is because we also have already installed in the basement the 4x4 egress windows.
yeah.
So whether you decide to finish that space or not,
Great point.
it's already there for
Yeah.
whenever, however people want to do it. And so a lot of that wow factor is having all that extra amazing space set and ready.
Couldn't agree more. Yeah, I think the craftsmanship is number one. When I'm doing a walkthrough, from the trim work to
Yeah.
the installment of the flooring, to your point, the cabinetry, and they look around and they look at the quartz countertops and the solid plywood based cabinets and the luxury vinyl plank flooring, and they ask, "Wow, how are you able to do that at this price point?" That's what we're offering here. This is a fantastic opportunity at this price point for what's included on the interior. And to your point, the kitchen just has so much to offer in terms of your cabinets, your countertops, your appliances. Again, and that is to vary on each floor plan, how your kitchen's going to be set up, what kind of size island you're getting, etc. But again, at the end of the day, these are all things that you, as the buyer looking into new construction at Aspen Hills, has the opportunity to go ahead and customize. We are flexible on what you're looking to have involved, colors on kitchen cabinets, siding, etc. So
Right.
we definitely get a lot of whoas, right? So
A lot of comments of I never would have guessed, that
yeah.
this was a modular home.
Exactly. Going back to, I know we touched upon a little bit about the community. I think this opportunity also yields, because of how close you're going to be to Johnstown, there's so much to offer. The convenience is there. There's so many cute little shops, coffee shops, restaurants, diners. I know there's a steakhouse in town. And
Seven Brew, for all my Seven Brew lovers out there. Every time I'm out in Johnstown, I gotta stop
yeah,
for my Seven Brew.
yeah,
I was so excited to see what out there.
yeah. No, no. I think from a buyer standpoint that's looking into new construction, that's something that we see over and over and over again,
hmm
where convenience is such a big thing.
Yes.
You
Yep.
know.
Yeah. People are working hard these days, and it's so nice to, have the option if you want your groceries still delivered in the country. You
Uh,
can still do that.
right, right. And one thing I was going to mention too that I didn't before about like my first impression, but I got out of the car and I walked out and it's just such a peaceful setting.
Yes.
It's quiet. You get this beautiful, peaceful country setting view, and if that's something that you're really looking for, well,
hmm
it's here at Aspen Hills. You get that peaceful community.
Very unique.
Yeah,
Now, I guess one of the things we haven't talked about too much is what is the average land size? How much acreage are
yeah,
people getting with these home sites? It's obviously going to vary a little bit, but
yeah.
what would you say is the average?
Probably about 0.34, 0.33 of an acre.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
It's like big enough so you can do so many different things, create that amazing backyard space,
yeah, absolutely.
but you're not going to spend 3 hours on a Saturday mowing.
Yeah, they're all pretty comparable in size, but that's
It's very doable,
yeah,
when you're thinking of, okay, not only am I buying a new home, but now I got a yard I got to maintain, but a third of an acre really isn't that bad, especially
yeah,
if you're, you got a fire pit out there, however you want to do it. You're not, again, spending a lot of time on yard work every weekend, which is,
right.
I think, super important. I don't have time for that. So,
Yeah, definitely not for myself either. Also, I just was thinking about like why now for Aspen Hills? Why is now the time?
that's a great question. I think, now more than ever, the way how the economy is,
Hmm.
affordable housing is extremely important.
Sure.
People are needing to move, whether it's for work, whether it's for family. So many things going on in the world today. It's so nice to have that option where I can actually customize my home and actually
Yeah,
afford to go on that vacation
yeah,
and live in an amazing location that's convenient to so many other, like you were saying, even Albany, the Adirondacks, Saratoga, still be able to live life to the fullest. You could basically have your cake and eat it too with Aspen Hills, and I think now is an excellent time for that.
absolutely. And you know what? Everyone's lining up to come and see what's going on here.
hmm
There's only a couple left in phase one.
Yeah.
Got to get you out here. We got to get you to really see what this is. So, where can they reach us, Sarah?
A lot of places. Obviously, our Sterling 518 website.
Yeah.
We have our Sterling Facebook page. We're going to have our emails, phone numbers, contact information included underneath in the
Yeah,
podcast info as well. So if we don't pick up, we're probably showing a home in Aspen Hills.
right. Yeah, definitely reach out. Let us know if you want to come by the community, see some new modular construction. We'd love to have you. It's a great community. Yeah, just give us a call. Thanks so much again for tuning into Real Talk with Sterling Real Estate Group.